All right, we are here at Scaling Blockchain 2018 in San Francisco, just the day after the hackathon. We have, of course, my co-host Zack Gall over here, and we have the man himself, Shane Kehoe from SVK Crypto. How you doing today?
Oh yes, bring it on. It's a pleasure to be with you two gentlemen here.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we were at the hackathon. I saw you there. You were peeking around, talking to people. What was your favorite project that you saw?
Well, hold on. Look at this umbrella over Zack's head.
Yeah, we should probably give context, actually.
Hold on.
That's a good point.
That is a gorgeous umbrella, Zack. Do you bring this everywhere with you? What's the story?
I'm allergic to the sun, so I don't.
Look at that lovely rainbow color that you have emanating from you. You look,
nice.
You look the bill of ill health. You're looking better every day.
This set was custom built for this particular episode, actually.
God, you guys are not spending. I mean, look at this. You got a desk, you got the mics.
Oh, yeah.
You got some lights behind here.
We got it all.
Like a tiki bar. This is what I like.
I'm jealous of your energy. I've had 12 hours of sleep this weekend.
Well, do you know what you've done?
I'm whooped.
You've done a phenomenal job, because I saw you come into the hackathon. I saw you with all the enthusiasm. I saw you figuring it out, and then I saw you right at the end. And in fact, hold on, wasn't I drinking with you last night?
Yeah, that's part of.
It's a little fuzzy.
Yeah, we got back. What? I probably got to bed at 12:45, but this is West Coast time, so it felt like 4 in the morning. But like this weekend's been the greatest experience, because I interact with all of these people in the EOS community online, and it's just, this was the first time I had the experience to meet people and really get to know everyone. And there was no chance I was gonna go to bed early and miss out on the extra 2 or 3 hours of getting to like intermingle with everyone.
Well, I think I was with you. I think we were talking about alcohol. I think we were certainly sampling it. Well, I'm wondering where your co-host was, your partner in crime. You look really fresh.
Oh, absolutely.
But has the mentoring not affected you? I mean,
it definitely has. I'm not used to socializing for 15 hours a day, so to be here even just talking to people for that long in a day, it just kind of wears me out. But I think I got a good night's rest to speak here at Scaling Blockchain, so I had to get my rest.
If you could kind of sum it up in a sentence or a line, I mean, what does it kind of feel for you when you look at what you've just gone through now that you have a retrospective look back at it?
Yeah, I think it's an incredibly rewarding experience that's really given me an inside look into who is building on EOS today and what they're actually building.
Amazing people. I've never been around so many diverse, cross-functional backgrounds.
Yeah.
Like, these are unique individuals that are building on this, because you can't just be an engineer I guess you could if you have a team, but you can't. Most of these people aren't just like engineers. They're like, their brains just work a different way, and I've never been around 500 plus people whose brains are all like ticking in the same kind of weird way that mine does.
You touch on a good point. It's really characters that I really notice at some of these hackathons, and characters in a way that they can't really be. Characters in a way that are at the forefront of what they do. And it's easy to go, oh wow, it's a bunch of really unusual type of people, but you're talking about the people that are breaking trail, the people that are doing something different, the people that will have that idea creation and generation and see it through, and it's wonderful to be a part of that. I think we really have to take a step back and go how lucky we are to be at this right place at the right time.
Yeah,
characters.
Absolutely.
So the winner of the winor of the hackathon, hey Rob.
Come on over.
Come on over.
Hold on here. Drum roll, please.
Winner.
Yes. Where's your check? Where's your check?
So this is the champ.
The champ.
Champion.
The champ.
The champ is here.
I'm here.
Introduce yourself, man.
Come on, let's go.
Is this thing on? It's on.
Yes, it's on.
Hey friends, so my name's Rob Behnke. I'm a co-founder of NouGit. NouGit is the decentralized incentivized.
When did that company launch? I
exactly 24 hours ago.
I did hear.
Yeah. We're not even on Google yet.
What was your experience like, man?
Hey man, I'm gonna take a knee.
Yeah.
Can I take a knee?
Yes, of course you can.
Cool.
Of course you can.
The experience has been pretty great. I mean, so like I live in San Francisco, and I'm constantly going to the meetups here, and I'm constantly seeing that every meetup there's a couple more people, and there's been a great sort of influx of these meetups where even last month it was, hey everyone, meet up on Saturday, forget what you're doing, meet up on Saturday, and put teams together for the hackathon. And so out of Starfish Mission, which is a great sort of incubator co-working space, blockchain only in San Francisco. We all met up, and that's where our team got put together.
I work with a great crew of people at ICO Alert, so I'm used to being around crypto people, but they're not all EOS fanatics. As much as I'd love for them all to buy into it as much as I do, but I was talking about how it's unique, the cross-functional backgrounds of everybody. Like you can't, you're a business guy, but you can't just be a business guy. You have to like think in a completely different way.
I mean, that's like anyone that's involved in startups understands for sure that you have to wear like 50 different hats.
Yeah.
So if you're like really good at finance, but you're in a startup, you need to ensure that you do 5 other things and so forth, so on.
So explain really quickly, Rob, what was the idea that won it? What is NouGit in a sentence?
Rob, why don't you take my seat, because I'm going to find the next hot seat guest while you continue this conversation.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be a great episode.
I'm happy.
No, don't you be going to sleep or resting up anywhere. I'm keeping my eye on you, Zach.
No rest.
Yeah, no rest. I'm keeping my eye on you. You got to look after that guy.
So NouGit, you guys won $100,000. What was the idea that won the money?
Sure. So NouGit is incentivized decentralized Git repo. So it's pretty clear that from what I know of the open source community, they're not particularly happy about Microsoft acquiring GitHub, and they're not particularly happy about IBM acquiring Red Hat for, I think it was $29 billion, something around like that. And when you look at what those acquisitions really meant and why those happened, they happened specifically because they wanted to acquire the community. And when you think about that, all right, well, the open source software community tends to, not be big fans of big corporations that own that.
It can't really be bought.
Yeah, it can't really be bought. So when we went into the hackathon, we had several ideas. So first of all, just to geek out for exactly 2 seconds here, been a fan of everything EOS since episode 1.
Amen. Hear me now.
Absolutely love it. And, fact is, listening to a couple episodes, also checking out crypto Twitter, I had our entire team was set up like, okay, maybe the mission's going to be gaming. All right, so we had a couple different game ideas. Maybe it'll be something around social impact, even though the last one or 2 other ones before was around social impact. So we had about 5 or 6 different ideas, and then when the mission actually ended up happening and being announced, we were just like, okay, what's the loftiest one?
Right.
That one. Okay, and let's go for it. So, previous to everything that I'm doing with NouGit, my day job is that I founded a company called Token Agency, where we are an accelerator and an incubator here in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And what I really appreciate about teams that come to us are extremely sharp developers that need some marketing help. And so it essentially happened with NouGit. So my team is 4 extremely sharp developers and the branding guy. And so I'm here to help out and be the voice and be the marketing side of it. And so that's when they presented me this idea, I said, all right, let's go for it.
I think first of all, your pitching was really great, and we've known each other for a short period of time. It was wonderful to see you up there execute, and I am almost obsessed to the point of unhealthiness, right? Where it's got to be on the second, it's got to be on beat. And I was looking at you, and I was looking at the clock coming down. I was like, Rob, you got 3, 2, 1, and you just nailed it on that. And you got a great applause because of your project and your execution, but also your timing. What I'm really interested to is, where do you go from here? What's the future hold? You get a really great prize. Oh, you get a really you get a
guest lined up behind the camera. You can't even see them.
You get a really great prize. You get the accolade of everybody. But as the hackathon comes to an end and sunset sets over San Francisco, what are you going to do? How are you going to take it from here to where you need to go? Because that's what I'm interested in.
It's a fantastic question. One that we're going to still absolutely continue to figure out. Everyone has their day jobs. Everyone has what they've been working on before 48 hours before all this. But I think the fact of the matter remains that the opportunity is too grand and too great for us to ignore this. And I think that, lo and behold, here is, myself included or excluded, there is a very clear team that is able to execute on this concept really well. And I think where we go from here is we start working on the milestones that we outlined in the initial pitch. So the initial pitch was, all right, let's work on decentralized storage, most likely using IPFS.
Yeah.
Let's consider a white label solution for the current Git repos, maybe. But I think the biggest opportunity, obviously, is just to just continue to build an actual proper company that is decentralized, that uses the EOS token as a primary incentive model. We're not trying to build our own currency where there's no need for it, when there's already incentives aligned with current cryptocurrencies. So I think where we go from here is we just build.
Hot seat.
Okay, well, I better get up.
Absolutely.
You are going to build, and then we're going to have you on in a couple weeks, couple months, whenever you have something. I don't know if it'll be after the grand finale or whenever, but I want to hear the update on what you guys are doing. This is awesome, like the decentralized GitHub idea. Like everyone's thought that this has been needed for so long, but I'm so excited that your team's hopefully going to actually fulfill this vision.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more about it.
Absolutely, we're rooting for you. Well, listen, let me get out of the way here.
Okay, so we're rotating the hot seat.
We're going to rotate the hot seats. But, guys, gentlemen, first of all, congratulations, well done. My two boys here, Zach and Rob, well done. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you for all the support, and it's been great seeing you here.
Yeah.
You boys both nailed it. Lovely to meet you. On that note, as my boy Charles Story would say, I got to bounce. I'll catch you boys later.
I love it.
All right, rotation. So we have Ramon here.
Come on down.
Go
to the next contestant on.
So I get to be in the middle now. We have like a little
switch it up.
Hey. So Ramon is responsible for, well, one, this beautiful umbrella in this background in this building. We're at the Scaling Blockchain Conference. This will be uploaded tonight. It's a great event. It allowed everyone that one extra day to like intermingle, and we had great panels, great speakers. Tell us about yourself.
All right, guys. So I think most of you know me as Investing with the Difference. I'm glad to be here on Everything EOS.
Oh yeah,
guys,
we're glad to have you.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
have an awesome proxy over at Investing with a Difference, right?
Yeah. I think it's great. And great to have Rob here talking, and he gave the keynote speech. Great fun. I think we had a great event. A lot of speakers, scaling blockchain, and I love the EOS community for making it successful. It's all a community effort driven by volunteers, and I think after the hackathon, everybody was tired. I just love the energy here.
Yeah.
Just amazing, and I don't expect it from any other community. So
I thought the weekend was awesome because it wasn't just the hackathon. It's half the reason I'm dead right now, actually. So I get on Friday. I land on Friday. There's not just one. There's actually 3 events on Friday. So Shios had a workshop where they were teaching everyone the EOS 21 protocol. I missed that one, but then there were 2 different events sponsored by Lumia. Were you part of that? The Lumios. You probably helped organize. Yeah, it's the whole San Francisco group. It sounds like there's a tight-knit community in San Francisco within the EOS community itself.
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of stuff. Like the winner of the hackathon, he comes from the meetup.
Yeah,
which is run by local San Francisco community.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's done, and we are like, that's what we're trying to build here. So scaling blockchain is all about getting developers, dApps, everybody together, because what is missing? What is missing in EOS right now is not all this BP talk, all this governance. What is missing is dApp developers. We need more.
Absolutely.
That was the theme of the hackathon. 100%. So right after Dan came on stage and like the hackathon challenge was announced, after all the hoopla was done, everyone kind of cleared out, and then everyone who needed teammates because they didn't have an entire team, they were actually put in the hot seat themselves, and they were told to get on stage with a live mic and tell people why they should join their team. And the recurring theme was, I'm a business guy, I've got a great idea, but I need technical support. Yep. So there's a great need for technical help.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look even at normal software developers, there's not enough of those. But then, the Venn diagram of the blockchain developers inside of that is even smaller. So I think that the question we all want to know is, when is the next Scaling Blockchain conference?
Yes.
When? So as you guys know me, I do everything. I do YouTube, which is like 1% of what I do on EOS. I'm actually running incubator now. I'm just starting an incubator in San Jose, Silicon Valley.
Oh wow.
So all this event stuff, I'm not an events guy, but I love this community. So if community comes together and they say, I see a need, I want to do it maybe every 6 months, why not?
Yeah,
that would be great.
The question is, I think, how do we get together like this? Hackathon was a great reason.
Yeah,
I was talking to Rob.
There will definitely be hackathons next year, I think. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I could handle too many weekends like this. I'm running
it twice a year. Come on.
Twice a year, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the hacking part is the hard part for me.
Is what, yeah, that's
like,
what really killed me.
I went into the hackathon. I wanted to be part of it, but I didn't want to get too serious about it because I knew I had today. This is our last podcast we're doing, but it's probably the first one everyone's going to see.
Yeah.
We got some great podcasts we recorded. So I did one. We talked about governance with Miles Snyder from Aurora BP and Kevin Rose from EOS New York. He's actually the first two-time guest, besides ourselves, obviously.
Right.
And those were great conversations. And I also had Dominic Thomas from Morbly,
nice,
with one of the block producers for EOS Blocksmith, who also helped organize the event. I had Shaheen on. It was great to get a perspective from a block producer who's supporting a sister chain, who's a backup on the main net, because I think that's a great opportunity for revenue stream for the backup nodes.
Definitely, yeah.
So I got some great content. I don't know when it'll get out, but you'll see this one tonight.
Yeah.
What was your did you have any eye-opening experiences at the hackathon?
Oh, hackathon, I can't even start talking. Like, if you start, like, you will all get bored. But, like, let me tell you, like, I spent 5 minutes talking to Dan. I spent 5 minutes talking to Brendan Bloomer, one-on-one.
Wow.
It can only happen.
Did they tell you all the secrets? Because we want them all.
Because I was talking and they were listening. You know me, like, and I talk a lot. So what happened is we started talking about what they asked a very wrong question to me. What block one can do more? And you got me started, right?
Oh my God.
I just gave them.
Yeah.
And what did you tell them?
I told them that, see, what we need is support with local communities. Hackathons are very great. Like, these are like big events which you look forward to. But right now, when I go back to Silicon Valley, what do I tell them next? What is the next prize to win?
Right, absolutely.
So we want to build. I'm actually creating. I talked about it in Scaling Blockchain. We are doing incubation. We are doing individual hackathons. I'm bringing VCs together, trying to do like. Developers don't need much.
That's awesome.
They need encouragement. They need like 5,000.
You guys might not even see this on camera, but I want you to know that Shane from SVK Crypto is crawling around on the ground right now trying to get his charger for his laptop. If I stayed in bed until like 10 minutes before we went on the air, I'd be more refreshed now too. I feel like I'm dead. All right, so could you bring us our next guest?
Sure, who's that?
Let's do it.
Where's Blue Jays? He made a big announcement. AirdropsDAC. We want to tell everyone about AirdropsDAC, but we need the founder, Blue Jays.
All right, so I'm sorry for that. So what happened is, Blue Jays has been tired after the launch event. By the way, I'm one of the interim custodians on AirdropsDAC team.
Well, you can talk about it.
I'm kind of representing them. Some of the team had flights back, so they had to leave.
Is Blue Jays gone?
I believe so.
All right, why don't you tell everyone about AirdropsDAC?
All right, so AirdropsDAC, I think we have been discussing about what is EOS. We have a resource-based blockchain. We have CPU issues, we get resolved. We have Chintai, we have CPU emergency. We have so many things which resolve your CPU issues. You have net. I think net has never been an issue.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know if net is really used, to be honest.
Yeah. And then we have RAM.
Yeah.
It has been a controversy right from day one. It has been going all the way up to like whatever, I think very, very expensive prices now come down. But still, if you're a dApp developer, you need a lot of money. You need a lot of money to do airdrops. You need a lot of stuff which...
Ramon, I don't want to call you a liar, but Blue Jays just shut up. Hop in. I'll get up again because I am...
I think half the team left.
Rob's got a panel.
I got a panel. If you want to see it, it will be on the Investing with It.
Ramon, stay on. I'll slide over. This is the hot seat. Hop in.
Taking my seat. The man himself.
Hop in.
It's everything EOS Go. The audios go.
Out of here. So great.
Let's go.
Come on in.
Hey guys.
So we were just talking about AirdropsDAC.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you continue? Why don't you tell them where you left off? Or
I thought everybody else left already. You're gone.
Okay.
This is the Everything Is, Everything Goes podcast.
Hey everybody. What did you say about AirdropsDAC?
I was just introducing the CPU and then why RAM is the only piece missing right now for dApp developer. So you can continue from here. Like, how do you get cheap RAM?
Oh well, that's a different story. We're not speculators.
Well, so you introduced did we introduce the problem yet? Then we can introduce the solution.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with the current RAM model? I think everyone kind of knows.
The problem, I think, is basically developers cannot determine their RAM costs in a predictable way, and obviously it's a sunk cost when people are budgeting for their app.
Yeah, I remember
$70,000, $80,000.
Yeah, I don't know the cost. So that's what you're hearing from the teams. Or that's what you just know for a fact. It's still $70 to do a airdrop to the entire billion plus tokens.
Well, it goes by the number of accounts.
The RAM was like crazy.
Well, it was crazier, and it has been coming down, but it's still a barrier to entry for most teams.
So, how many teams? And I've seen it in Telegram. I've seen and heard of projects that started their airdrop and then they literally ran out of RAM in the middle of the airdrop.
Right.
So, how many teams? I mean, I know you kind of made your announcement to the world recently, but you've been working on this in stealth mode for a while now. How many teams have interacted with you and like told you like we want to do this, but here is our problem, and this is how?
Well, some of the Higher Vibes team, which we've done an airdrop for a couple weeks ago.
I met some of those guys last night. I met the.
Oh, you met EOS Vibes.
EOS. Oh, sorry.
They're different.
Sorry. I did hear the differences and how. Okay, sorry.
You can see the effect of the weekend on him. So.
So tell me about the Higher Vibes guys.
Okay, so they're based out of Ireland, most of them, and basically they wanted to do an airdrop that, one, that they can afford, two, that increased community engagement. And when you do that, when you get tokens in your wallet, and then you don't have the incentive to go and do anything with it. You just leave it there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In our case, we not only make it cheaper for that team, but we also say we give them a claim invitation period where it gives the opportunity to the users to say claim that token.
All right.
Guys, I'm still running this conference. The conference is going on.
He's been busy. It's been hard to even get him here. Bye-bye. Are you leaving too? Come say hello and tell us about your channel. This is another. He's another YouTube guy. This is like the YouTube Super Show. Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Good day, my EOS friends. This is welcome to the EOS Super Show. With these superstars right here. This is best day of my life. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Watch him on YouTube. Happy
weekend,
Money
right?
Man.
Yeah, I'm the MC this weekend. I was a mentor at the hackathon and an MC at this wonderful event Raman put on. So
yeah,
it's our lucky day, man.
it's been a long weekend. I'm ready to go back to Toronto.
Let's rotate the hot seat. You got to introduce the next panel, which is Rob already left. So, are you introducing it? We got Jake. So Jake from Dappcast. Why don't you hop in? Either hop in a seat, hop on someone's mic.
Dappcast.
Oh no.
Me and Jake are way back here. Have a seat, Jake.
Oh yeah, we can bring it back.
Are we? We have Shane back join in.
I found it. It's all good. We're sorted.
Oh, I thought you had something to say.
He left his phone.
Hop in. Shane, hop in. We're gonna wrap this up. Jake's telling his story. He's gonna tell us about Dappcast. Tell everyone about Dappcast.
Yeah, the Dappcast.
Let's go.
Podcast all about dApps, and we just like to hear people's stories and really get out of them. And I'm great at listening, so that's what it's all about.
All right, we're gonna keep this one short because I want to update it. I want to post it tonight. I want everyone to watch the entire thing because usually we get about 40% retention. I hope we get 100% retention today because people don't know what they're gonna get. This is the craziest show we've ever done. It's the only one I'm gonna post without editing because I like to over-edit myself. What's next for SVK Crypto?
Listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get back to London. We're going to do a massive debrief on everything that we've met here, all the projects, all the people, really just looking over the community. We got some really big news coming. We got 3 investments in the pipeline, which we're going to be releasing. Really happy about that. We're focusing on building out the community. We are looking at getting over to the hackathon also in South Africa, and we always remain open and helpful to all you fine people. Well done for everyone coming down. It was a really collab era, and thank you so much for producing some great content. Thank you all so much.
Awesome.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you. All right. Does anyone
Nice meeting you, man.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, anyone else want to add anything?
Clap it up, man.
Anyone got anything?
I've got an
Let's
announcement.
go.
Yeah, I've got an announcement. The EOS podcast, obviously, but breaking news for you gentlemen.
All right.
EOS San Francisco block producer is launching within the next week.
Is this breaking news or
This is breaking news. Well,
have you announced it on stage yet? I know that was coming today.
It's been like
Who's
no,
involved?
I haven't announced
This
it on
is
stage.
breaking news.
Who's involved? My co-founders are Ali, who is the CEO
Lumios.
of Lumios. Yeah,
right.
he's a gangster dev. I mean, 7 years. He's that dude's a ninja.
He's on fire. So he
Google, Amazon, Facebook and Apple. I think he was the lead engineer at. So he knows what's up.
Yeah, I had him on my podcast a really long time ago. Jake, you recorded one with him today. That
I just did.
He will be able to see on Dappcast.
Yeah.
And my other co-founder is Max Infeld, and he actually created...
Wait, so you're involved in this?
And yes, I have...
Wow.
So who is the team? So you're...
Me, Max Infeld, and Ali Ayash.
All right,
in EOS San Francisco.
So when do you turn on the Reg Produce?
Well, we are on testnet and soon. We just want to make sure our legals
the hardware located?
Hardware is located in Canada. Followed EOS New York with the incorporation in Rarotonga and Cook Islands, and on AWS, and then scaling from there.
All right. Wow, this is like a super show. This is last night you posted that tweet. We had this like.
That was a banger party.
Tell us about the party, man. Thanks for inviting me to it.
Yeah.
Just a cool. So if you guys saw on Twitter, we posted a picture. We were all just kind of mingling around the table, and we realized, wow, everyone almost everyone.
But we called over Rahman, and we didn't get that picture out, so he was in that picture as well too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The only people missing was literally Colin Talks Crypto, which has another great show.
Yeah, he's in Costa Rica.
Crypto Tim. Sorry, Crypto Tim, you weren't here. Who else is missing? Dallas is missing. Am I missing people? I know I'm missing people. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. Yeah, whatever. What else do we have? Come on.
I'm beat, man. This is a long weekend.
Why don't you tell us what happened? So EOS Go just launched and rebranded. Are you able to talk about what happened there?
So that's
I used to watch that show.
For people who are confused, like we don't really have anything to do with that show anymore. EOS Go EOS Asia bought the brand.
Okay.
And it's up to them what they want to do with it. So we had fun, and I hope to be back one day, joining the ranks.
You gotta get a podcast back, man. It's the cool thing to do these days. Everyone is doing it. We're doing video, all of us now. I just started a couple months ago.
You have the best thing in the game, man. Right now.
I got the Rob Finch, man. I'm like a disciple of Rob. Rob was doing his own podcast. There's like a general crypto podcast where he'd bring on founders of, at the time, ICO projects. He's like, hey, we have these great conversations next to each other at our desks. We sat next to each other. Why don't we start recording it?
Yeah.
And that's how everything EOS was born. When did you start? Because when did you start?
Well,
within the EOS community. So you're an OG in all the other graphene platforms.
And I'm from Steam It. Yeah, I was in the other crypto stuff, and BitShares, and then Steam It for about a year and a half or so. And so I bought EOS when it was like 50 cents.
Nice.
Back when you could buy it online and you could just not do anything except say you wanted it. You didn't have to even say what country you were from. They didn't know anything yet. So you could.
So that was before they banned the US.
Before they banned the US, and then you could still, for a while, you could still do it with a VPN. Which I never did, of course.
What made you have the faith in that to make that purchase?
Dan, because of BitShares, because I didn't buy the scenario where he ran away from BitShares and then ran away from.
It was a lot of fun at the time.
It seems so silly. That line of reasoning was so silly to me. Probably because I've failed at stuff before, or I've done stuff and left it to do something better. I don't.
Were you doing your YouTube show or your podcast before EOS, and then you just translate it into EOS? And is it just EOS themed, or do you more general crypto stuff?
I'm all EOS themed. It started out, Happy Money Man started out as lifestyle design, and because I was an entrepreneur, but I wasn't fulfilled, and so I was okay, I want to find human relationships and what fulfillment is, and then money will follow. And then through that, I started kind of falling deeper into crypto, and then went all EOS about March.
I've seen your work, but the only ones I've ever watched are only when you're talking about EOS stuff,
so
because those are the only ones I care to watch.
Yeah.
So are you just EOS, or
I'm all EOS. Nothing else. All EOS. The EOS podcast. I started going majority EOS in about March before mainnet launch. I was at Tulip conference, at the legendary party.
So tell me how the EOS Go podcast got started with Kevin.
Yeah, so actually this started with my wife, Jenny Top K-Pop. She had a radio show on Steam It, and she had all the skills to do this. And we're like, okay, let's do this, man. Let's start a radio show, have fun on the air. Kevin and I had this dream of just
when did
kicking back and having fun.
I don't even know when you guys started. It was a long time ago.
We had the Dan videos that we talked about with the RAM utilization, and we went down to block 1, and we sort of, at the time, EOS was a scam. Everyone thought EOS was a scam, and here's a guy.
Glory days.
Yeah.
The glory days.
The glory days when you could actually profit off the FUD. And now it's like, so we went out there and we decided while we were in the Blacksburg, Kevin and I said, you know, we got to do a show. And then it started up. Jenny
so the show started after the Dan episode.
Yeah.
So you guys were doing EOS Go. You're like engaging the community. You guys were the main in EOS Go. Even though you are not EOS Go now, they are continuing with the community engagement and community education.
Community education.
So you kind of like passed the torch. EOS Go. What do you think about the rebrand?
I like it. I like the color. It's that green, you know. Green's my favorite color.
Does it make you sad still, or you just? I'm pumped for AirdropsDAC.
Yeah, I mean, AirdropsDAC is enabling developers. We want more teams. We want more engagement. We want this chain to be actually used, and that's what this is all about.
That's actually why everyone had to leave. The topic there, I don't know if they started yet, but it's mass adoption.
Yes.
I kind of wanted to see it, but I'm always talking about mass adoption. I think there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, but like the grand vision won't be fulfilled until mass adoption is reached.
We need people to use these tokens and not just hold them and invest and keep them. We need them to use it and engage.
I wish I knew how we would get there, but they're giving all the secrets away on stage. My thing is, I think the theme of this show and the theme of my weekend is no sleep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Until mass adoption.
I was no sleep through the weekend, and also until mass adoption.
I can't wait.
I'm ready to sleep.
How much sleep did you get this weekend?
Oh, dude.
You're a mentor.
I was a mentor, and I thought I had the midnight to 6 in the morning shift, and so like 11 o'clock at night, I just started pounding coffee. They had free espresso, and you know, I had a couple of espressos. I was drinking Red Bull, and I look at the schedule, and I didn't have to work through the night, so I went back to my hotel and stared at the ceiling. So I literally slept like maybe an hour, but I'm super rested.
When was that? The Friday night?
That was Saturday night before Sunday.
Okay.
So it was, yeah.
And
talk about how Block One organizes this whole thing. They think of everything. They give you deodorant. They give you.
Let's talk about
food,
the swag.
And the swag.
I'm gonna grab some swag off camera. Can you guys talk about
swag
the
in the
swag
game.
bag we got over
Clearly the dopest swag in the game.
Did you open up the swag bag? I briefly opened it up.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get. I got the same thing as you guys, but basically a sweatshirt or a Patagonia sweater, which was amazing. That's like one of my favorites. A really killer computer bag, a hard drive, silver, beautiful little hard drive with an EOS logo on it. A really nice water bottle. T-shirts. I mean, it was.
You know what I really wanted to
amazing.
do? Did you see that big chestahedron?
Yeah.
I saw so many people crawling inside of it, and I just wanted to get at least one body part inside of it, so I put my leg in there.
Yeah, it's my favorite picture in the whole thing. Actually, is me and a couple people around that. Yeah. Here comes the swag bag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was handing out swag. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole thing.
Okay.
Right in the beginning, everyone was super excited coming down the line to all the teams, and I was handing T-shirts and hats, and yeah.
So how was that mentor experience? Did you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, food, great hotel, like swag. This is a
different show. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, swoop in here.
Are we still talking about swag? Because that was the topic we left off on.
We're talking about it's the most amazing swag ever. Hey, cheers, my EOS friends. Much love to you. To you guys. My favorite part is meeting.
No, it sounds like we have a hot seat open. You sit in the hot seat, man.
The hot seat. That's why I'm out.
This is a Come on, man.
Roll through.
From one.
Cheers, my friends.
We are going to wrap this up. The conference is almost over.
That is a great segue.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
we're just gonna end it. We don't even need a segue
right now.
He's awesome.
We don't need a segue.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Well, you could.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as well.
How do we find you?
How do you find me? You go to Twitter, you search at Dappcast. That's how you find me. Or on YouTube, Dappcast, Dappcast.
And how do we find Blue Jays and AirdropsDAC?
At BlueJays3000 on Twitter and AirdropsDAC.com. There you go.
All right,
if you need any airdrops, give us a call.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I apologize. Well, I don't apologize. This is going to be an awesome episode. It's a little bit different than what you're used to seeing, but you're going to see it quick. Thanks for watching. This is Everything EOS.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.